And so I simultaneously did the unboxing live too on my Instagram.
Yep.
And one of my mentors back home saw it. He owns a marketing company called Level Wing. They do big names like Bridgestone and so forth. But he calls me up immediately after, and he's like, "What's up, man? How much these things cost?" I tell him. He's like, "How much these cost you?" I tell him. He's like, "All right, man, cut me a deal, but still make yourself some money. I'm gonna buy you 100 copies. I want to give it to a school." I was like, "This sounds great because I'm gonna do the book launch at my old high school." So he's gonna buy 100 copies. And, yeah,
so
he's gonna buy 100 copies, and we're gonna give it to the students at West Ashley High School in some kind of form or fashion. I mean, like, it's just crazy to consider myself an author, and I mentioned this in the introduction, and I mentioned this in chapter 6. I mean, in third grade, I could barely read.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And struggling with the English language is something I still struggle with to this day. There are words that, and I talk about this, how like I became the kid who participated in the vocabulary bee and not the spelling bee. And so I compensated for my lack of true literacy in my ability to communicate and my ability to understand and to know words. And that's why I'm able to maneuver and read people and situations, because I had to always be searching for context clues,
right,
to stay on top, right? And it's just crazy to think that, you know, like I still can't spell feasible, right?
I'm trying to think of my head.
I know I can't, right?
Yeah.
And there's still words that I've been saying and using in speeches my whole life, and I'll go on an essay and realize I never typed this word before, because I've never seen myself type this word before.
Yeah.
And it happened a lot in the book, and it's crazy to think that, you know, where I came from and to be at that point that now I'm an author.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Someone who has struggled his whole life with the English language has wrote a book. I mean, I don't know, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, so are you excited then for kind of like the next month or so? It feels like the next month is going to be sort of bonkers for you.
It's bonkers. I'm just trying to make sure I don't fail out of school. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's crazy. No, it's honestly crazy. So, I mean, the book launch is Tuesday, for crying out loud, 7 days. And then I'm doing my own book signing for the hour and a half gap that we have between the launch and the reception.
Yep.
And that's just been crazy. So, like, I got my friend's house on N Street. She has a big house with a huge backyard. I got my friend DJ, another friend doing photography. Georgetown's scholarship program is paying for Georgetown Cupcake.
Awesome.
And they're buying 50 copies for the first 50 students who are GSP students. I'm gonna buy some champagne, and then it's gonna be a great
champagne
thing.
moment, right?
Champagne moment, exactly.
Well, you'll make sure to be filming some of this, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Please make sure.
Definitely.
I will try and come over there. I'm supposed to help with I'm one of the sorts to judge some of that other stuff. But
Okay.
I'll do my best to come over there for sure.
Definitely.
Make sure you film a bunch of it, because I
yeah.
think it's great content for you, story, all that stuff. So anyway.
Definitely, yeah. I told my friend he's taking photography, the photos. I'm like, yo, I need you to do photos and videos.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it's just incredible. My family's driving up, got some friends driving up from Charleston.
Awesome.
And it's just, I don't know. I just think it's going to be great.
I think that the opportunity for you is to really like invest in this business and ultimately figure out how to get you paid.
Definitely.
Like sooner and things like that. And I think that because you're going to have this momentum, and I think that like from a press standpoint, from an outreach standpoint, it's not about the book, but it's about the tour, right? Like the speaking tour and the sponsorship. I think if you launch that sort of like somewhere between the book launch and sort of the start of summer, I think you give yourself an opportunity to start to book sponsors, to book it. So I think it's, you know, whatever your fall looks like, in some ways is maybe you launch your fall around, all right, like don't have class on Fridays, you know, and be able to go to, to book something in a different city. And so you've got, I'm going to be in Philly this one, and you've got start filling up your dance card.
Right. I'm trying to spend the whole summer lining up 10 to 15 schools is my minimum goal.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, is if you basically map your fall out to where you start with the cities you're going to be in, and then you go after the schools to fill it in, there you go.
Okay.
Right. So what I would sort of start with is I would basically, like, I think you build the tour t-shirt is the first thing. I know it's sort of weird, but like the small talk t-shirt where you've got the city names you're doing. And that's the thing. Like, here's the dates, you get your show lined up for it or whatever it is. And you basically start to use the book. And I think, again, we're going to get your book to be a category bestseller, all that sort of stuff. You can use the Jacqueline playbook of reaching out to organizations, connections you have at all these places and say, listen, like, I'm doing it. Here's the economics, the way that it works. Like, it's this much cost unless we can get a sponsor to do it, and then it's free. Comes with the, you know what I mean? You come with a package, and then you just start to sell that thing. It's basically just like a flywheel thing. And I'll teach you all of sort of the digital marketing tricks to basically manage a pipeline. And so I think what I would push you to do is sort of map out, you know, your tour dates, whatever it's going to be, knowing that, like, you know, you're going to have to cover travel and all that sort of stuff with it, so you can build a budget around it, but basically figure out how to
then get the budget covered.
Exactly, that's it. So you just have to, like, I think you have to structure what you want, and then you'll give yourself all summer to make it possible. But I think you need to announce it is sort of the start of this. It's just sort of
just like how we did last fall. Like, I put on my social. You told us to do it. I know some people didn't do it to the spring.
Yeah,
but I did in September. Author, small talk, expected publication April, and it's just like, the onus was definitely on my
It's on you, right? And I think you do the same. Like, that's what you announced this summer. And again, I think there might be some synergies with some of the stuff with that and with some of the stuff with the Cred Scholar program. So I think there's something to it.
I mean, that's probably go a lot further away than working at Clorox too.
You know, I mean, it's if you're
as far as what I'm interested in,
exactly.
what I want to learn, and what I want to take away from it.
This, right? Like, how do you get you to where you want to go? It's going to be the next phase of this, which is how you actually build that next piece.
I love it.